So welcome to the Maw. This is the last level of Halo 1. I am finally here, and the horse you rode in on. Yes, the Pillar of Autumn. This is where it lies, and this is where it landed, where Keyes manually landed the ship, or went in manually, and not just himself. He has his whole crew, or had his crew, nonetheless. So, why are we here? We're gonna blow up this ship. Its cores are powerful enough to actually destroy this ring. So that's what we're gonna try and do. It's not in the best of condition. You can see it's quite tarnished or quite damaged in some way. Even then, so there you go. It said, oh no, where'd the logo go? There it says Pillar of Autumn on the side. We're gonna go right past it. It's kind of, again, like scratched up and everything like that. And this is also where you find out Chief isn't the best pilot. In a way. And those are where we're entering, actually, is where we just send all the, oh wow, the life pods. There we go. So now we need to get to the bridge, where we can, the bridge is where Keyes gave us the Magnum. We need to get there so we can activate the, engine explosion. We need to activate, oh goodness. All right. To activate the codes. That was what's in his neural interface. Goodness, I'm already gonna die. I know it. I'm rushing through it too quickly. But we're waiting the codes to activate the engine brake. So. Whoop. Alright, hello. Let's go. There's more still. There's always more. God. Alright, there we go. Oop. The bodies are getting back up. They're not always dead. You can do a double tap if you're really concerned about it. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed, by the way, that last video. We're loading in, apparently. There we go. The last level, I think I talked a bit more about more in-depth lore, which I hope people enjoy, because that's kind of what this is going to lead to. A lot of this first Halo is more just getting into what Halo is and the story, and then eventually, like I said in the last level, is more of the kind of background story that you don't see on the surface, because all of it's like in books, and even then it took a long time for those books to even come out. Most of them just came out recently, in the sense that some of the story was added, because originally it was Bungie, and then eventually Microsoft became in charge of Halo. Like, Bungie was no longer a part of it after Reach, but they did do a few nice things that I like that 343 Industries did in... Ooh, murdered, by the way. The 343 did for Halo, in the sense. Like, Halo 4 is when they take over, really. Like, fully over. With Microsoft, of course. That Bungie is no longer a part of it, and, there we go. Alright. I'm gonna see if I can rush it. Hopefully I can. Normally I don't, because they have fuel rods, and this is where you can get murdered, like you saw 2 seconds ago. Oh, I got through it. Alright then. That's a rare occasion. And he's a stealth elite 2. There we go. Hopefully these grunts don't kill me so quickly, because these all have fuel. Not all of them. They have needlers and fuel rods. There, we made it. We're at the bridge. Level over. Not really. Never is that easy. By the way, a little hint here. Oh no, I'll say it later. There's the countdown. Gives us enough time to get out of here.
I'm afraid that's out of the question, really. Oh, no. Ridiculous.
Welcome back, 343. Or you can just call him Spark, by the way. Most people just call him Spark.
You can't imagine how exciting this is to have a record of all of our lost time.
By the way, the reason why partially he's not listening as a character is because he's going through rampancy, and we don't talk about that till later. Partial rampancy. He's not as rampant as other things because of a whole thing called the domain. Long story. Don't worry about it. That doesn't pop up till Halo 5, so.
you have destroyed this installation.
And 4. 4 and 5, yeah.
I am shocked. Almost too shocked for words.
He stopped the self-destruct series.
Why do you continue to
There goes our plans to blow up the ship as well.
give us the construct, and I will endeavor to make your death relatively painless.
At least I still have control over the comm channels.
Where is he?
I'm detecting taps throughout the ship. Sentinels, most likely. As for the monitor, he's in engineering. He must be trying to take the core offline. Even if I could get the countdown restarted, I don't know what to do.
How much firepower would you
And this is why the shielding came important.
Not much. A well-placed grenade, perhaps, but why?
It's not a very dangerous thing to toss a grenade in a nuclear reactor.
Okay, I'm coming with you. Chief, Sentinels!
A little hint here. So the Sentinels show up right now. If you skip the cinematic, that glass that just broke doesn't break, and you can use it as kind of a shield, so that instead of fighting, you can kind of hide behind it and get out of here. There you go.
Ship was heavily
Either way, you can
damaged
run
in
away or
impact.
shoot them. Doesn't matter.
Cryo. We should be
This level's not too bad, by the way. It's probably one of my favorite levels just because of the ending. Oh, goodness. Didn't think he was going to pop that corner quickly. We're going to toss that there just in case any of them. Yep, there we go. Close quarters wins. Whoop. One always gets stuck. I'm pretty sure. Here he is. Oh, geez, these guys are right. So they normally don't come in this room. All right, then. They normally stay to the left. There's a go. There's a hunter behind me. I couldn't hear him, but I saw the giant red dot on my radar. Oh, I thought the other one followed me, too. I was going to say, this is all madhouse now. All right, I'm just going to run past these guys, too. I don't have any plasma weapons, so they're usually not the funnest to fight without it. Except, you know, if you have a shotgun. A lot of this level, honestly, is running. I could stop and fight, but then it's room after room. This level is one of those, I'd say a lot of people who are big fans of Halo like to run quickly. If they can. Oh, Jesus. I'm going to die this first run now, more than likely. Yep. I didn't have my shotgun out, and he came. Hey, I made it actually the next go. Alright. We're off. This area should look familiar because we were here on the first Halo level as well. Pillar of Autumn. Like I said, they do reuse maps. However, it's well enough that it doesn't seem like that and it doesn't seem repetitive whatsoever. I don't think so. Personally. People would be like, oh, that's poor map design, got lazy. I'd say it was very well done. Especially for the time when this game came out. To have such an in-depth game. Again, at the time, this was probably one of the most advanced games around, I want to say. Compared to others you also had. Well, it was also competing with a game called Morrowind from Elder Scrolls 3. Kind of difficult to compete with. But as it did compete. And they were both probably the most played games by me, even to now.
Engine room located.
I played Morrowind more than any Elder Scrolls.
Alert. The monitor has
Not many
disabled
people would say that, though.
access. We can't restart
And now
the
we're
power
just
supply.
essentially running up, gonna go find these engine shield cores and blow them up. Get out of here, because we want to destroy this ring. And the monitor, who you're gonna see around, he's still kind of, that's why he goes, I think the best way when I said his rampancy, it is partial rampancy, not full rampancy. We don't see that until Halo 4. But how you have signs of it actually in the level, the library. He's laughing and he's like, ha ha ha, I'm a genius, da 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 da. And he has some dialogue lines there that you wouldn't expect, you know, this advanced Forerunner tech to be boasting about himself usually.
If you run out of explosives, there is an armory station located near the engine room that's
Thank you.
analyzing. Fusion reactor
Oh,
number
shielding
one
went down.
destabilizing.
Which means he's gonna come here and come on, come on, come on, come on. By the way, there are two engine core shields on each side. The reason I transition to each side is because of these guys. The Sentinels, if you don't pay attention, will eat up your shield quickly. So if you let them come over to each side, so now they're over there, which gives me time to come over to this side. Oh, geez. Open it, open it. And if you double click by accident, it will open. Alright, so normally I use that to help, but you gotta do a crouch jump there. Alright. It gives you time, like I said, to make sure you don't get attacked. On heroic and legendary, it is quite helpful to not have that going around in the background. It really, you only have to worry about the flood then attacking you. Oop. And it's nicer here. If you get up on this ledge, then you don't have to crouch jump. You can just kind of jump over. But that's it. That's really simple. Blew up the shield cores. Now we can. Ooh. All right. Now we can get out of here. I know this is probably a lot more intense for you guys. Again, I don't have game audio, so it's just me talking over explosions and gunfire. Essentially, is how I picture it. Oh jeez. Okay. 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 Oh, I thought he stuck me. Those elites have like an amazing arm, by the way. They just chuck it at you, and you know, more than likely they're gonna stick you because you have no time to react against them. Especially if you shoot a plasma grenade and make it explode, or he shot it. Because none of us had explosions, like explosives. I didn't shoot one. There we go. And we're headed up. We're headed out of here. Oh wow, they added that light. Neat. That's one nice thing to do, by the way, on these anniversaries is to go back and flick between the games, of course. That's the whole point of that feature. It's cool in Halo 2, where I probably won't do it during the cinematics, but Halo 2 is the only anniversary where you can flip mid-cinematic, and it's really cool to see old and new cinematics, and see how they timed it up and how they had to switch it up. While in Halo 1, it's whatever graphic setting you're in when you go into the cinematic is what it is. But here's my favorite part of any Halo, the driving scene. Da-da-da-dun. Da-da-da-dun. Alright, let's go. So, I'm not really talking about much lore in this one. I keep saying so very often. It's more just the finishing of this. We kind of explained all we can for Halo 1, what we're doing, you know. Just essentially stopping the Covenant in the sense that they're not getting this ring, and also we're destroying all the flood on this installation. That's it, because this is the only area where the flood has escaped. So what we're trying to do is just, you know, two birds, wait, two birds, one stone, is that it? Yeah, two birds, one stone, in the sense that we're not only destroying a good chunk of the fleet of the Covenant, not a lot of it, but as we know of right now, we're doing some damage to the Covenant, because that's, you know, a top priority, because we're, you know, at war. And then we're also, you know, of course, just stopping the flood, which is even worse than the Covenant, because of course we are at war with the flood, and so are the Covenant. It's now just third party throughout it. So there's not much more lore to talk about in this sense, like I'm saying. But after this, if we destroy the ring, I forgot, I really don't know how many installations there are. I'm pretty sure there are 7. Pretty sure there are 7. I counted 7 before. Don't hold me up to that. I will actually put up hopefully, if I'm right, I'll put up it in giant letters. I'm right, 7. And if I'm wrong, then I'll just put up the right number now on the screen. So, but now that there's going to be one gone, that means not the entire universe isn't, you know, galaxy is covered by the rings anymore. So we'll be missing a ring, of course. However, I say the pros outweigh the cons of what's going on right now. Whoop, and that's my driving, by the way. Slam into the walls and just keep going and going and going. And that's why I like this scene. You have the great music, which is playing not only throughout the game, but right now as well. And it's just driving. There's no level, and there were no games that had a level where you can just drive. By the way, hint, there's a Warhawk behind you if you ever lost one. Second hint, there's a skull right up there. I'm going to stop here anyway for, of course, this. I know what happens, but still. There's a skull. We're supposed to be picked up here right now by Echo 419. That's why I said she was important back on the second level. Echo 419 has always helped us out. That's where Echo 419 goes.
Echo 419. She's gone. Calculating alternate escape routes.
Alright. Yep, it says destroyed.
Ship's inventory
So
Shows one longsword fighter
now we
still
find
mounted
one
on
thing
this.
that was in the first cinematic on the first level. There's still one last ship. It has stayed there because this is essentially a deep space fighting ship. It's a longsword, and it's a cool ship. The design was just the triangle, but it's kind of cool. Now we're headed there. We have 3 minutes and 14 seconds to get there. If you do not get off, of course, what do you think happens? We explode with the ship, and we don't want that. We want to get out of the ship before, you know, we explode. So I'm gonna try and get there. There's some few things here as well. There's like a party grunt and everything like that. There's the skull there. Sadly, we lost Echo 419 at the end of all things. It was us and Echo 419. There wasn't really anyone else. So, oop, image tearing yet again. Hopefully that didn't come through on. Ooh, wheelie. All right, come through on the recording. Almost there, by the way. Only 200 meters left. It's been fun, by the way, doing all this on the Halo, the first Halo. It's been cool to actually run a campaign and kind of talk about this, especially for the people who are still here watching these, because more than likely you're a person who's interested in this stuff, which I've been interested and dorked out my entire life on. So everyone has their own thing. But that was Halo 1. And here's the end cinematic.
We're cutting it close.
Well, one of the audio things in here, it's a song that's playing from the command deck, which should not be playing at this end cinematic. It's an anniversary glitch. But there's a longsword. There's another ship called a broadsword, but we don't see that until Halo 4. So. All the flood kind of gravitating towards the ship. I don't think you'll see the legendary ending here because I ran it on heroic. However, there, we'll see here. Nope, that should have been where it would have cut in. There is a legendary ending there where Johnson's fighting for a gun, or the sergeant. I don't know if it's actually Johnson. It's not. It's fighting for the gun with the elite. It's just a sergeant, not Johnson. So there it goes.
Shut them down. We'll need them later.
We got out of there, and this ring is exploding. Pillar of Autumn was that big of an explosion. It could just destroy the ring. But it was essentially a planet in a ring size. So, ring size, massive ring size, just shape of a ring.
Did anyone else make it?
Scanning. Just dust and echoes. We're all that's left. We did what we had to do for Earth. An entire Covenant armada obliterated, and the Flood. We had no choice. Halo, it's finished.
No. I think we're just getting started.
There you go. And also he takes off his helmet there, which sadly we don't see, of course. And it's right on his lap. It sucks. But either way, I thought it was a great ending. I always enjoyed Halo 1's ending. It kind of, he says, no, we're just getting started. And that's also why later on in Halo 3, the title of Halo 3 is called Halo 3 Finish the Fight. Halo 1 is Halo 1 Combat Evolved. It didn't freeze it. Oh no, it didn't. Thought it did. No, we're just looking at space, but my screen's still moving, so. There you go. I really hope you all enjoyed this playthrough on Halo 1. I will be doing Halo 2, and I'll be doing all of them, except for maybe Wars. I don't know if I'm going to do those. I might. However, Halo Wars 2 doesn't have too much story in it, really. That's kind of super big into the Halo universe. Again, if you're a fan, there's still some. But Halo Wars 1 did have more. So, I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, I'm going to do Halo 2. I'm repeating myself by this point, it's fine. But I really, really enjoyed doing this one, especially because I originally did half the campaign and half the campaign in 2 different recording sessions. So, it was a bit easier to do. And now I'll be able to have a video out every day for you guys. At least for the next 5 days. we'll see how it goes. But for now, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for enjoying Halo 1 Combat Evolved with me, and I hope you enjoy the next few campaigns as well, along with, other videos still being here and there. I really hope you did. I'll see you all next time.